Okay, so today I'm going to show you some of the devices that I'm using to try to rid my yard of moles. I haven't even taken it out of the package yet, but it's working. So this is a cattle prod or a livestock prod, and I've just got it kind of wire stripped bare and kind of taped around the end of the two prongs here. You can see it travels down the two cords to maybe what we'll call our injector module. And so anyways, I just got this stuff at the hardware store, some black pipe, plumbing pipe, and these wires kind of come down into a hole that I drilled down in this neck down coupling here, and then I just put the wires in. We got a ball valve up here a little further, another section of black pipe, and then I didn't want to be metal on metal, of course, so this is where I stick the torch head to fill it. So these wires go down in. It's going to be awful hard to see, but I just taped them up. There you can kind of see down to the bottom of the thing, but I'll go here and hit the button a little bit and we should be able to see some sparking. Need a third hand. There, I think the camera picks that up. Button. Buzz, buzz, buzz. So the two wires are just kind of sparking across to each other inside this tube, and it seems to touch it off pretty well. It's a little trowel I use to get into the mole holes. And over here we got our oxygen and propane. Now I read a lot about propane using T-hoses and a particular propane regulator. I've also read on some welding forums where the acetylene would do fine, and probably eventually I'll use this more for a torch than killing moles. But so I'm just using the acetylene one, and something about T-hoses compared to, I don't know if these are, yeah, grade R hoses. I'm just using these, and maybe that's dangerous or not smart, but that's what I'm using. I do have some flash suppressors, and I think there's some built into the head as well. Anyways, at present, I'm running the oxygen about 25, and I'm running the propane at about 6 or 7 psi. And I'm getting some pretty good whops with that, so it seems to be doing a pretty good job. I was certainly running it too lean at first. I was starting more where the oxygen was like at 30 or 35, and had the propane down at 20, or excuse me, at 4 or 5, and it just wasn't touching off well. And so then when I made it a little richer, it seems to be doing better. And I'm getting some pretty good ones. I may richen it up a little bit more and kind of play with that a little bit, but I don't want to change too many things at once. So I'm going to get it set up here, and then we'll come back and try to touch off a hole so you can see what that looks like. Okay, so this is over by my neighbor's bean field, and I don't know if this is going to be a great hole because it's kind of close to the surface. I don't know if you can see this tunnel, but this is like the end of a run. Kind of don't think this one's all that active, but anyways, I've found that rather than digging it up by hand, you tend to plug the hole. If you use a trowel like this, you can get down in there. And so then anyways, that's heading down into a run pretty good. The disadvantage of this one here, I've blown up a lot of them already, just kind of testing this thing out. The disadvantage of this one is close to the surface, and I think some of the gas may leak out a little bit more, like through some of these cracks up here in the dirt and whatnot. But this is the one I got to try for this video right now. And so anyways, you want to try to get an airtight seal. I did have a little bit of an opening here where the igniter wire was going down into there. And I certainly wasn't touching it off as good. So makes sense. The more air leakage you have, the more to dilute the mixture with atmospheric air, the less of a contained system, and honestly, the less of a bomb you end up having. So the more that you can have it be contained down in the tunnel, the more that you're gonna get the whump that you're looking for. So anyways, put that down in there, try to make it relatively airtight here, and we'll hook up the propane a little bit. Okay, I got the gas going. Fill the hole. I do this for about a minute. This kind of takes two hands. So I'm gonna turn it off or pause the video here for a second. We'll come back when it's time to set it off. But I'm gonna turn this ball valve off once this has been going for about a minute roughly. I've read other videos or listened to other videos where they said, okay, you can tell when the tunnel's full or whatever, you stop being able to pump gas into it. I haven't appreciated that myself. I get the gas going and then kind of hook it up, and then I'll throw the ball valve in a little bit when it's full or when it's been about a minute, and then I'll shut the valves off when I get back or once I pull it off. Okay, I don't think I went quite a minute, but I threw that ball valve, if you can see that over there. I tend to want to get to it relatively quick to hit the sparker because I don't want it all leaking out the ground. So I'm going to hit it here in a second on the button on my hot shot. So, good. That was a pretty good one. Always kind of fun. And I don't know if we can see. We obviously saw her come up there. So, oh, look at this. For the video, we even get a smoking hole here. But to be honest, that was one of the better ones I've done. The boy's excited. I didn't want everybody to see the propane tank in the background, but the boy's so excited. He heard it whomp off in the house, and so he likes hitting the little sparker to make it happen. But everybody's safe here, and it seems to be pretty effective. The ones that I've done so far.
Can I explode one?
You want to explode one in a little bit? Yeah, okay. We'll have to wear our safety equipment, right? So the ones that I've done in the past, I haven't seen any activity coming back to them. So so far it seems relatively effective, and I don't seem to be going through the gas as quickly as I thought that I might. So the tanks are staying relatively full, and I don't know, I've probably done, I don't know, 10 or 12 of them so far, and I think I'm getting the mix pretty close, because like that one there, I got a pretty good concussion, and I don't think it's the, you know, always the explosion that gets them, but even concussion down the hole I think might kill them further on down the way. So anyways, that's it for now. Maybe I'll get some other videos posted here in a little bit, or add to this one as far as, you know, some other whomps that we get going.